Now, let's talk about the portfolio your retirement train starts out with. People have asked, well, do we have to issue a bunch of bonds? Won't that be new debt? How does this work? How will we sell that big a bond issue? Good questions. Take a deep breath and relax. This isn't nearly so complicated. No cash changes hands at the moment of conversion. We just turn the promises Congress has already made into legally enforceable annuity contracts. Congress has already promised to use the payroll tax receipts to pay our Social Security and Medicare benefits. There's no new debt. The obligations already exist. We're just moving them from the unfunded category into the funded category and turning them into legally enforceable contracts. To show you an easy example, let's say your train will start out with a $500 balance. It's in 5 layers of $100 each. The first layer is the right to receive $106.50 from the payroll tax receipts in year 1. The second layer is the right to receive $113 from the payroll tax receipts in year 2, and so on. Your portfolio earns 6.5% interest each year. Here's some common sense comfort for that 6.5% rate of return forecast, because a lot of people say, well, gee, the stock market's not paying 6.5% today. True, but over a 75-year period up through 2001, it paid 7.62%. Sure, we've had some big downturns since then, but at today's market value, we're right back on that long-term trend line. And remember, that performance was achieved while the economy was staggering under the burden of the transfer payment funding method. So the stock market was earning nearly 8% while the economy was staggering under the burden of having to pay $12 to get a $1 value in our retirement plan. Here's an easy way to look at it. On average, across the whole economy, for every dollar of sales, a business pays 24 cents out of that sales dollar for payroll and FICA taxes, plus another 2 cents in income taxes that will go to pay for Social Security, Medicare, and net interest on the national debt. Business is paying 26 cents to pay for payroll, plus provide these retirement benefits to their employees. Workers take home 18 cents out of that 26 after their part of Social Security, Medicare, and net interest on the national debt are deducted from their paychecks. As we saw in Part 1, Social Security, Medicare, and net interest on the national debt can be funded with 2.67% of covered payroll. That equates to less than 1% of sales, so business is paying 8 cents per dollar of sales to provide benefits that can be purchased for 1 cent. So 7 cents out of every sales dollar is being flushed down the toilet. That's equal to the entire profit of the business sector. We will enjoy powerful and sustained growth in earnings as soon as we flip the switch and open the retirement plan track. The economy will enjoy double the amount of capital being invested that we now see. We can easily achieve the forecasted 6.5% real rate of return. Next, let's apply this teaching example to the real numbers. Here's the projected payroll tax receipts available for supporting our portfolio in trillions. Every 10th year is shown for the next 90 years. This is based on 1.6% annual growth in real GDP. That's the intermediate case assumption for economic growth in the trustees' reports, and that should be a stable source of payment for a bond issue. So your portfolio would receive bonds secured by this designated portion of payroll tax receipts. Next, let's shrink that first chart down to a scale that allows us to add the portion of payroll tax receipts generated by economic growth above 1.6% annual growth in real GDP. Here we show the result of growth in real GDP up to 4% annually. Your portfolio would receive shares of stock with the right to receive payroll tax receipts on this portion of economic growth. This would be variable, start out very small, and probably not be suitable for bonds, but it would grow spectacularly over time because the economy is no longer suffering the burden of this 12-to-1 waste factor. As soon as the market sees that we're doing what we said we would do with the payroll tax receipts and that the economy is growing, there will be a robust market in these shares, and the retirement plan funding method will enable us to routinely pay our benefits from our portfolios. This will happen within a couple of years. It won't take long. Altogether, our portfolio will have a present value of $61 trillion. That's enough to fund the starting balances for everyone, pay off the national debt, provide for the Disability Insurance Trust Fund, and have a contingency reserve of several trillion. Every family will have a starting balance of over $1 million when you combine the multiple generations, such as baby boomers reaching retirement, our parents still drawing benefits, and our kids getting established in the workforce. The key to gaining a sense of comfort about this is to realize the cause and effect relationship. Yes, we're not earning 6.5% today because we're crippling the economy with this 12-to-1 waste factor. Eliminate the 12-to-1 waste factor, and we restore the economy's ability to generate that 6.5 rate of return. It's no different than feeling weak from an infection. Yes, we can't work effectively with that infection sapping our strength and impairing our ability to concentrate. Eliminate the infection, and we can easily go back to work. In this case, the transfer payment funding method is the infection, and the retirement plan funding method is the antibiotic which can cure us. Please help.